We've got another guest here that was with us yesterday. Always great to have him back. Rob Pardo, the EVP of Game Design at Blizzard. Rob, we saw you out on the town last night, meeting the fans. Tell me, I mean, what does it feel like for you when you get to meet these fans? It's every year. Is it a different experience for you every year, depending on what games have come out and where games are at in development?
I think it's a pretty similar experience each year. I think it's, everyone that's out here is, we all have a common interest. We're really excited about Blizzard games and gaming in general. So, I think when we all go hang out over the Hilton, after each night, it's really a unique experience because you have everyone from the press, you have everyone from Blizzard, and you have everyone from Blizzcon there, and it's just a very casual environment, and everyone just kind of hangs out, and we talk about games, and we talk about what we're into, and we talk about what's going to happen the next day at Blizzcon. It's just super awesome.
And they try and trip you up for info on things you haven't announced, probably, right?
Well, you definitely get a lot of free drinks as people are asking you questions. So, you need a drink? Oh, let's go talk about the new
slip up last night, Rob? Are we going to read about it online?
Not that I remember.
Perfect. Listen, one thing we didn't get to talk about yesterday that I meant to ask you, and that is with the new BattleNet that you have out. You did talk last year about developers putting their own custom mods on and doing some type of financial share, having some type of e-shop for developers putting mods out. Is that still in the planning at all?
Yeah, something we want to do is we want to have a marketplace for mods for StarCraft 2, and it's something that we really hope to have out around the same time as we release the game, but it's just been kind of postponed a little while. But what we really want to be able to do is we want to have a marketplace up there where people can still play all the same free mods that they play today, but we also want to really put the opportunity up there that if somebody wants to use StarCraft 2 as a platform and they want to create kind of their own original assets and their original intellectual property, and then they want to launch it on StarCraft 2, we want to make that an attractive place for people to be able to do kind of their own games, just like you might on a lot of other sites that allow for either mods or casual games or flash games, or the iPhone store is such a great example where people can kind of make apps or make their own games and put it on that as a platform. We really want to look at StarCraft 2 as being a gaming platform.
Absolutely. Good thing to do. Now let's go to Twitter because there are some questions for you, Rob. And if you guys have questions, you can send them to me right now at Jeff Keighley and also Cat Hunter at Cat Hunter. All right, so the first question comes from, this is from Carly at Carly Wong, and she says, how many women are on the development team at Blizzard? Good question for you, Rob. How many women are in development?
Not a lot, unfortunately. And most of the time they tend to be artists when they are there. But I would say that on the World of Warcraft team, we probably have about 15 to 20 women on the team. And that's a little bit of a guess. That's something I'm kind of adding them up in my head as we're talking here. But it's something that you typically don't see a lot of women in game development for some reason. It's something that just if you look at the resumes we get, I would say we get 9 male resumes for every female resume.
Wow. All right. Well, hopefully there'll be more and more women, though, joining the team in the future, right?
Well, and the thing is, too, I think it will actually add to games. I think it'll add another perspective, something I think, especially for game design. With game designers, I like people that have different sort of backgrounds because they kind of come at design problems and gameplay from, different perspectives. And certainly every time I see, a woman game designer that applies, I get kind of excited about it to see whether or not this is someone that can fit within the Blizzard culture. And if you look at, The Sims is, I think, a really good example. The Sims team, I think the way that their development works is they have about half women and half males that work on the team, and I think that comes out in their demographic. When you look at who does The Sims appeal to, it really, you can kind of see that development split. It makes sense when you see the varied people that play it.
Absolutely. All right, another question for you on Twitter here, Rob. This one comes all the way from Brazil. This is from Arthur in Brazil, and he says, there are many guys that love World of Warcraft. Did you guys plan to bring it out here? I guess, is World of Warcraft not available in Brazil right now?
I don't think it's available exclusively in Brazil, but it is something that we're working towards. We recently just launched in Latin America, so we're kind of working our way down there, and I know Brazil's on the list.
Awesome. I actually had a question from Star Mike off of Twitter earlier, and he wanted you to, this is something you had mentioned earlier, talking about social gaming, a question Jeff asked you, but that is the new, the new movement in gaming, obviously, is this idea of social gaming. And does Blizzard consider this a threat? Is Blizzard doing anything to try to plan to work with what's going on now in the gaming community?
Well, certainly don't consider it a threat. I mean, I think what you always see with gaming is there'll always be new platforms that allow for new types of games that you hadn't seen before. You know, and if you look at, I don't know, like the Nintendo handhelds, you know, different sorts of gameplays are allowed there. You look at iPhones that come out and suddenly different types of games appear on iPhones and you would see PS3 or something like that. So social gaming, you're really just talking about Facebook, right? You're talking about Facebook games and the type of games that work well within that platform.
Right.
So I don't see it as a threat at all. I see it as another opportunity for gaming in general. You know, it's something that, you know, I don't know if it's something at Blizzard that we would be looking at anytime soon, other than, you know, we want to extend our apps and, you know, make sure that people in World of Warcraft have the ability to kind of engage with the property through Facebook, but actually like full-blown casual games, I think that's something we'll probably leave to other companies.
All right. Got another question for you on Twitter, Rob. This one comes from Cat Dancer. Cat Dancer said they liked the question about women in game development. This one comes from Aura Moon. This it's a popular question. What kind of credentials are typically required for a game designer or a similar position? Everyone wants to work at Blizzard, Rob. What are you looking for?
Well, for game designers, you know, I mean, if you're looking for an entry-level position, there's usually what we're looking at is things like quest design's a good entry-level position, level design's a great entry-level position. So for those types of positions, what we're really looking for is for you to be designing games already. You know, like if I look at you know, a whole bunch of resumes for people that want to be in game design but have no experience, all their resumes look pretty similar. I mean, there are starting to be like some game design schools out there, but they're pretty rare. For the most part, what I see is, hey, I'm really excited about games, and, you know, maybe here's some schooling, you know, things like that. And what really separates people is if they have a mod, if they have a map, if they have a mod, or even if it's something like, hey, I have this cool spreadsheet where I analyzed rogue damage against mage damage, and here's my conclusions. You know, because I'm really looking for design thinking. And I think increasingly, you know, you're starting to see better and better portfolios for game designers. And then, you know, I'd probably give a few tips for portfolios too, because a lot of times what people will do is they'll say, okay, I made these 10 Warcraft 3 maps and here they all are and they require 8 players to play. And that's really difficult for me to actually be able to look at their work. Yep. So the other thing, you know, submit just your very best work, like about one to three things that you feel like are the best things you've done in the areas of game design, you know, on your own. And then the other thing is, if you're submitting something like a level, make sure that you do kind of like some sort of video fly-through and, you know, record yourself or send me some written documentation about what you think's cool about your level and your process for it. Because you really want to be in the mindset of the person that's going to look at your portfolio and your resume is only going to probably be able to look at it for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So make sure that you present the information in a way that they can see your work that quickly.
That's excellent advice.
Impact. That's good advice. All right, so get those resumes into Blizzard and head to the website. I'm sure people can figure out how to apply there. Rob, thank you very much. It's great to have you, as always, at BlizzCon.